I've got this little Briggs Classic 3.5 horsepower engine. I've had it probably 10 years now. Never changed the oil, never done anything to it, just put petrol in it and keep the oil topped up. And it came on a Murray 20 more when I got it. And now it's on this Husqvarna deck because the other deck just rotted away. But it starts up. You press the bulb 3 times. It starts up, no bother. The engine won't run. Starts up, no bother. The engine won't run. So I expect myself it's the diaphragm just in underneath here that pumps the petrol up. So I'm going to take it apart and have a look what the diaphragm's like. So I'll get the air filter off. Look at that, soaked in oil, covered in grass, about 10 years old, perfect air filter. Just let off the throttle cable. Got a dog here working beside me, you'll hear him sniffing away. It's the throttle cable off. So there's the governor spring. In here we should have about a load of spare grass stuck in here. Should have about 5 screws, 4 or 5 screws, there's one there. And hopefully we can just lift out the carburetor then. If I was doing this somewhere with an air compressor, I'd blast it all out. I don't have that luxury today. Then put those 5 screws loose. Get this oil breather, pull it back, twist that up. Try to keep it clean. There's dirt all over this engine, but I'm not too fussed about it because it's a good little engine. Now we'll probably have to loosen down the tank as well on this. So I had 5 screws anyways. I had one here, I'll show you with the screwdriver. One here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. 5 screws. As I keep on going, loosen up 3 screws to take off the pull start machine mechanism. They're little 11mm. So one goes in here in the front, one at the back here, and one at the back over here. 3 little bolts. The pull starter just lifts off. You can see here there's a load of grass gets sucked in through that air. So I should probably have done this before I took off the air cleaner, but that's where we are, so I get that cleaned out. And again, if I had an air compressor, an airline, blow that out. Much better. So there's the governor mechanism. I think I'm going to need to loosen that. There's a bolt underneath the petrol tank, I think, or else it's just this one here. So if it's just that one there, I'll take this one out. Looks like it with a 12 or 13 mil. Take that out. I might just lift all the way then. Let's see how we go. I've got this bolt out now, and inside there's a spacer, and that's it. Loose enough to slide out. And I think I might need. The bolt is missing off the front here, so but I might need to take off that bit on the cylinder head there. It's that strap that's screwed across. I might just take that off as well. So 3 cylinder head studs, get them off, and then it's just this governor spring that sits on here. Disconnect that spark plug HT cable, tuck it out of the way, get that up out of the way. I'm getting stuck on the chassis here, that's where I'm getting stuck, so hopefully get this bolt out. Bolt comes out of there and there's a spacer in behind it. Is there a little spacer? Maybe now. Yeah, anyway, that's it. We're off, and just have to twist it to get it off the little S bend. The little S bend on that governor. So now I should just be able to lift this out, have a look at the diaphragm, I hope. Bit of a clean away first. One, two, three. I'll have to get a piece of metal or a bit of wood or something to put this on. So got the fuel tank off, get the screws loose, get the carburetor out. I'm going to lose all my screws now. Look at that diaphragm. The diaphragm looks okay, you know. Looks quite good. Can't see any cracks on it. The flapper valve's okay. So then I think it's probably a blocked jet or something. There's no main jet's a fixed jet on these, so don't know. Have a look. I'm out in the workshop and I've taken the time to take the carburetor apart. I originally thought that the diaphragm was damaged. It isn't damaged, it's quite good. Good condition. Then I thought a main jet might be blocked, so I've blown it out, and when I was taking the diaphragm off, I noticed that this little valve here, the end of my piece of metal, which covers this hole here in the top of the fuel tank, it has a little imprint on it. You can see quite clearly there, where the circle seems to be a bit oversized. So I'd say that valve isn't closing properly, and thus it's not pumping up the fuel into the carburetor. So what I'm going to try and do is, when I'm reassembling it, along this edge here, which is the equivalent of this edge here, when this carb is flipped up, I'm going to try and make sure that I've pushed this side of the gasket or diaphragm in so that it covers the hole. Now I've got to tighten down the 3 screws, 1, 2 and 3, and then when I'm tightening up the 2 screws on this side and this side, here and here and here, it should, if all goes to plan, the diaphragm should cover up, or the little valve should cover up this little hole here, and we should be in business. So I'm going to give that a go. I've blown it all out with an airline. I said I didn't have an airline before, but I've come back to the workshop because I wasn't going to get this fixed on the road. So hopefully the next shot will be me showing you the engine running. So we're all back together again. I'll just prime it 3 times. Okay. It's a difficult bit to hold the camera while I'm doing this. I think it's fair to say that that's worked. The primer bubble's stuck. That's coming out now. That's it. That looks like a good job. So it's just a matter of pushing the diaphragm over a little bit. Got it going again. Great stuff.